Hey everyone. Okay, so I decided for today to do just right now, out of whim. Everyone, I have Tourette Syndrome. I was diagnosed at 15. I'm gonna give you the quick run through. I went from being one day to normal to just the I don't know, the very next day. Just I started having muscle tics, and then they turned to vocal. There's two different Tourette's. There's vocal, which is what I get that affects my speech like that, or that, or I'll get muscle cramps, like muscle twitching, like some people go like that, or they'll twist your head. There's millions of different kinds. I started off with motor tics, which is the muscles ticking anywhere in your body, to vocal tics. My muscular tics have gone down dramatically. They're almost non-existent, but now I have very profound vocal tics. I'm trying my best to speak without them, and I'm going to show you. You're probably going to see that the longer I suppress them, the worse it is. Tourette's is like having a sneeze that you cannot hold in. The longer you hold it in, the more snot you're about to blow. Best way I can explain it. It is a chemical imbalance in your brain. I'm not going to get into the whole dopamine and norepinephrine and all that stuff. That's going to be... You don't need to know all that. It's not necessary. Hey, anything that comes out of my mouth is not intentional unless you hear me actually out there yelling the F-bomb or intentionally mid-conversation, and you can tell the difference whether it's intentional or not if you're around me. If I long enough, like that. I couldn't control that. I've been holding it in. What is it? Excitability. It comes with anxiety. The more excited I am, the faster I talk, the worse my tics. I'm Puerto Rican. I'm a fast talker by nature. Even when I'm chill, I talk fast. If I talk slow, I'm going to try to show you right now. When I talk slow, my mind is going to take over, and as I speak, it is going to start. My brain stops functioning when I try to slow down. It doesn't. I can't. Those who know me, like my in-laws, my parents, and everybody who are around me, and are patient, my sister-in-law, my brothers, their friends, love you guys for being accepting of me. Not making me feel embarrassed. None of that stuff. Yes, see, it also does vocal variation. It's either a tic with a... There's echolalia, which is finding words and echoing them, words that are appropriate. Like if you got the word dog or stuck in something stupid, it's stuck in your speech. So see, that's called echolalia, Coprolalia is that's very rare. It's only, believe only about 7 to 9% of people with Tourette syndrome end up with coprolalia. That's the inappropriate words. That's the embarrassing part for me, that for a very long time I was ashamed of. I kept myself locked up in my house. I was afraid to be in public. I made things a lot worse than they really were. Those who mind don't matter. Those who matter don't mind. People who are shady or whatever, stupid, you know what? I'm 30 years old. I've been with this since I was 15. I have not once had... There you go. I have not once... And I'm also losing my voice. I'm sorry. I'm going to try to slow down so my family can keep up with me. I'm not going to take for granted that you can. Just a second. Like I said, my videos are raw and unedited. Hey. Okay, hey. Where did I leave off? Right. My friends and my family, they understand me when I speak fast, and normally excitability makes the tics worse. Some people will be like, "Oh, Jackie, can you slow down? What'd you say? You spoke too fast." If I try to slow down my speech for someone to understand at a slower rate, my brain will shut down and start losing. It's almost like what I was gonna say leaves in pieces, and I'm just sitting there looking. Okay, I was saying I can't function that way. I deal with that. That also goes hand in hand with anxiety, which is called the comorbid condition. Anxiety and Tourette's go hand in hand. The more anxious I am, I'm getting more comfortable doing this video, so my tics aren't as bad as my intro video. I hope you guys noticed that, but if you compare them side to side, you'd be able to tell. They go comorbid, which means they go hand in hand. Comorbid means hand in hand. Tourette syndrome, hand in hand. Comorbid has anxiety. Some people, not everybody, some people have comorbid anxiety, obsessive compulsive disorder, attention deficit disorder, attention hyperactivity disorder, attention deficit ADHD. There's those are the main ones. There's also depression. There's also bipolar disorder that all go. Those are bipolar and all that is a little more on the rare side as a comorbid condition with Tourette's. Hey, a person. I was playing video games online with my brother. I play the Division online, and he was like, "Hey, do you say like the F word every 2 seconds?" Or I didn't, I meant to ask. And I'm like, no, I'm glad you asked me because nobody ever really asked me. It's one of those stigmas, like they're afraid to ask. Ask me. I'm an open book. If anybody who doesn't know about different things, I call them ignorant. It's not. Excuse me. It's not the negative ignorant you're thinking I'm implying. Ignorant means lack of knowledge. They're lacking knowledge. They don't know. So that I let them. If they ask me, I'm more than happy to let them know what I go through. So that if they encounter it again with somebody else, which it's rare to run into someone with Tourette's because there's thousands of people that have it in the United States, but it's not very common. To some varying degrees. The more serious ones, it's kind of I'm more than happy to ask them, like, no, it's a tic. It's, if I get a vocal, if I get tic that I can't control, and anything that comes out of my mouth, I'm not, if I get trying to, I don't mean anything by it. They're just words, and as time has gone by, my families understand. They've been patient with me, and they understand that I'm not yelling the F-bomb or the F, all kind of stuff purposely and hurtfully. If I got my siblings, they understand, and my parents, it took my dad a little while to understand because at first he just didn't know what was wrong with me. I mean, old school people, they don't know these new mental disorders. This is a new thing within the past decade that's really, really resurfaced a lot. That has surfaced a lot, and they're noticing that there are a lot of different neurological disorders going on. I've seen a doctor, I've seen a psychiatrist. I see a psychiatrist currently, but only for the anxiety that I have. It comes and goes. I've tried medication for Tourette's. It's actually caused me to gain weight. I haven't been able to lose. It's like steroids. You take steroids for your life. If you got a bad back, you can't lose that weight. So I tried medication for it. It made me drowsy. I gained weight. I didn't even eat much. I slept about 14 to 16 hours a day. The tics got worse. They say they get worse before they got better. I only took them for 3 months as a teenager. I stopped. Ever since then, my tics have never, ever been that bad ever again. Which I was glad I tried it because it's almost like, it bought me some time and then it lessened the severity. I stopped. And then I started trying to find different methods to cope. Like they say, put a rubber band on your wrist and every time you feel like you're gonna have a tic, just pull it. That doesn't do anything. Stuff like that it's not beneficial because that's just promoting self-harm because that rubber band hurts, man. Like, why would I do that? Or hey, every time you're about to have a vocal tic in class, squeeze your foot or something like that. I'm like, no, because now you're promoting a vocal tic to turn into a muscular tic. Vocal tics don't hurt as bad, they're just embarrassing. Motor tics, those hurt because those are your muscles. Imagine twitching your foot every 5 seconds for an entire 24 hours. When you go to sleep and you wake up the next day, your foot is going to hurt. I've had neck tics where I used to go like that a lot. And my muscles hurt so bad. I had so much tension. It was a lot. Hey, I'm 30 years old now. I'm getting my life back together and I'm getting out there in the world and realizing nobody has ever in public come up to me and said anything, or maybe I've had a look or two, but I don't pay much attention because it's almost like I'm at the point in my life where if they make fun of me or look at me funny, they just don't know and they're not informed. But until someone's rude, I've never had a rude encounter. Surprising. Only rude encounters I've ever had was back in Hammond High when I was a junior and senior in high school. That was the toughest years of my life because the people I went to school with, they were brutal. My best friend turned on me and joined the group of girls who were harassing me and making fun of me. Didn't graduate. I almost didn't graduate high school. I went from being on the AB honor roll to barely making it. I passed and only had to go to summer school for 2 credits because my English teacher had pity on me because she knew how intelligent I was, but I just couldn't focus in class because the kids would not stop. So, Mrs. Robinson, I know you're not there anymore, probably not, but thank you. every time I've gone to try to go to college, my tics would be embarrassing, and I just would drop out. I couldn't manage that, and then on top of having a child with autism, which is gonna be another video. Imagine having a disability. They call it a disability because something is disabled in your mind that's not making you work like a normal human being. But today, what is normal? What defines normal? We are the new normal. Not necessarily people with Tourette's, but someone with a disability. That's the new normal. We're all vast, different types of people with our own issues. I imagine dealing with life having if I got a disorder. I don't consider myself disabled. I am highly abled. I'm not gonna toot my own horn, but I stay informed. I'm educated. I may have not graduated college a lot, but I've taken a lot of classes under my belt. I love to read. I love to write. I love to talk to people. I'm the one that likes to have the serious, deep conversations, not those little petty side talks and stuff like that. I want to speak deep about the universe. I'm a walking calculator in my head. I'm not disabled. The system labels me as disabled, but disabled, I am not. Okay? Just because I have things that I cannot control come out of my mouth, or my body moves a certain way that I cannot control, does not mean I'm not able to perform the task at hand. Yeah, so Tourette's, if I get my husband, he understood, he knew I had Tourette's way before. We even started dating, bitch. He just asked questions, which was great. It showed me that he had interest and he wanted to understand me. And he knew that it's not nothing that I ever said. Shoot. Never had any meaning. In fact, it took him time to learn it, but I love him for it. He's accepting. His family's accepting of me. My family's accepting, and they're very protective. They're educated. They know. Oh, excuse me. They know my struggle having to deal with this disorder on top of dealing with my child. Right now, I don't take medication. I'm not going to take medication for these tics and stuff. I do herbal. If I can, I haven't, but I'm going to start back up. I 3 times a day, passion flower tea mixed in with chamomile tea and honey 3 times a day. The passion flower tea is the key because that's got the remedy. That's herbal for muscle relaxation and all that stuff, so it helps, which is why I'm able to do this video because I just drank a whole cup of this bad boy. Yeah, anything else I would want to say? No, I'm very outgoing. I'm not antisocial, despite what I used to believe in and how I used to be shy and embarrassed. Anybody has ever anything to say or ask, I'm more than willing to explain. At the same time, I didn't choose or ask to have this disorder, so I'm not going to apologize for it. The only thing I'll apologize for is if I'm exhibiting these tics that are inappropriate and there's children around. I will apologize to their parents because that's not something their children are old enough to understand yet, nor should they be hearing yet. So that's the exception. But other than that, that's my life. I can still do everything. I still function. I pay bills. I drive. I have no issues with anything. It's all vocal. It's all a lot of praying. I pray for everybody else more than I pray for myself, but I do pray for myself like that. God give me the strength to get me through another day without my brain going crazy. Because another thing with people with Tourette's, your mind, what you want to say, your mouth cannot keep up with what your brain is trying to say, hence the fast talking. So everything I want to say in my head is already 2 steps ahead, and my mouth is trying to catch up with it. So that's why I talk very fast. But if I try to slow down, it starts blanking out and it just doesn't work. So with that being said, that is my life with having Tourette syndrome. I'm not ashamed. I'm no longer ashamed. It's who I am. Those who care about me and love me and accept it, those are the ones that I invest my time in, and I'm more than willing to be there for them and hang out and do all that stuff. But anybody who's got a problem with it, I don't need that in my life. Make it clear. You be blunt. Say, you know what? That's embarrassing. I don't want to bring that on my family. Whatever. Deuces. Nothing lost on my end. Well, that's my video. If anybody else has any questions, I was trying to get out as much as I can think of. Feel free. There goes my brain in my mouth. Feel free to email me at knowyourstrength85@gmail.com. Or you can drop me a DM on Facebook or leave me a message or a comment on my wall. Any of that stuff. Other than that, thank you for watching and listening to my own personal story about something that I have struggled with half of my life, since 15 to now. So, see you later, guys. Bye.